Hey everyone, I finished watching the next episode of Time Force, Uniquely Trip. Is that a pun of something? It's such a weird title for an episode. So anyway, synopsis starts off with Trip is showing Wes some new inventions and gadgets he's been working on, and Wes doesn't seem to care at all. He could care less. He's fallen asleep over there. And Trip is a bit disheartened by this, but then he doesn't have time to worry about that because a new mutant is loose. So he morphs, goes with the Rangers, they're fighting the monster, and he was watching some of the Rangers pull off these cool stunts while fighting the monster, and he's like, wow, wish I could do that. And then, let's see, Zord battle, and, light's acting really weird over here. I don't know what is up with the light. I think that's okay. It's kind of dark, but does it really matter? Anyway, okay, later on, they've defeated the monster, and Trip is hanging around at the park, and, like, he's thinking to himself, man, I wish I could do those moves the Rangers do. Then he sees these kids come by carrying a wagon, and the kids are like, hey, let's play Power Rangers. And then they all pull out costumes. The kids all have little Time Force costumes, which is kind of weird at this point in Time Force that there's, like, Time Force costumes for kids. Because, like, back in Mighty Morphin, there were, like, Mighty Morphin costumes for kids in the Halloween episodes. Didn't kids dress up like Rangers in a few other seasons, too? I'm trying to remember. I know in Turbo, they had, like, adults dress up as Rangers. Oh, well, whatever. Anyway, do, like, companies just... They're just sitting there waiting for a new Ranger team to pop up, and when one does, they're like, oh, a new Ranger team, and they get a bunch of pictures every angle, and they're like, okay, now, start mass-producing these costumes. Like, and what do they do if the Ranger team turns out to be evil? Like, when the Psycho Rangers showed up, did they originally think that, like, they were gonna turn out to be good guys? So did they make Psycho Ranger suits only to find out, oh, I guess they're actually bad guys. We probably shouldn't sell these. And, like, what about the A-Squad Rangers? Like, they were good guys for quite some time in SPD's story. Did they make costumes of the A-Squad Rangers? When they turned evil, did they, like, discontinue them? Or are the A-Squad Rangers still around? Or did they retire them? I don't remember. Whatever, back to the actual story. The kids are all digging through, the wagon with all the costumes. There's 4 kids, so there can only be 4 Rangers. They pick, what was it? Red, blue, pink, yellow. Trip goes over, he sees, oh, they left the green in there, and that just bums him out even more. Nobody wants to be green. Which is really weird, because when I was a kid, the Green Rangers were always, like, the most popular. I don't know if it was just residual, like, Tommy fanaticism, because Tommy was, like, crazy popular when he was the Green Ranger. He was popular when he was the White Ranger. He wasn't as popular when he was the Red Ranger, actually. I remember, like, even as a kid, when Zeo was around, kids weren't really so big into Tommy by Zeo. By Zeo, kids more liked Adam, who was the Green Ranger now. Or Rocky, who was the Blue Ranger. Tommy's popularity had kind of died down by that point, I think. But kids, yeah, they were still super into, like, the Green Ranger. I remember Green Ranger was, like, everyone's favorite. And with Turbo, let's see, that was Adam at first, and later Carlos. I like Carlos. I don't remember kids ever, like, being super excited about Carlos, though. Power Rangers in Space didn't really have yeah, they didn't have a Green Ranger in Space. I'm trying to remember, like, when I was a kid, what kids thought of In Space, and I can't remember. Lost Galaxy, I know people like the Green Ranger. People also really like Magna Defender. Lightspeed Rescue. Titanium Ranger was the most popular, which is weird, because he wasn't there for long. So yeah, Time Force. Actually, a lot of kids I knew really liked Trip and Time Force. He was a lot of people's favorite Ranger. Although, I don't think it was because he was the Green Ranger. I think more or it was because he was, like, an alien, and he was kind of, like, just charmingly naive about things, and I don't know, that appealed to kids. Whatever. The next morning, Trip gets up early to work out. Let's see. Oh yeah, Ransik revives another monster, and back at the clock tower, Trip is still working out. And, let's see, the Rangers are downstairs in the clock tower. They're like, hey, have you seen Trip? He's, like, working out. Isn't that weird? Then they hear, and they run up there to see what's going on. Trip drops some weights on himself. Idiot. Like, isn't Circuit right there? Like, I don't know how strong Circuit is, but it seems like Circuit could spot him and have enough strength to, like, I don't know, just lift the weight off if he did start to, like, lose his balance or whatever. So then, let's see, yeah, Trip's all embarrassed about this, and he takes a walk with Lucas. He sees Lucas immediately pick up a girl after giving her some flowers and giving her this line, sorry, I couldn't find any as pretty as you. And so then Trip decides he wants to try doing that. He dresses up kind of like Lucas. He also wears a big black hat, and he rips some flowers from a thing, and there's like still dirt and roots stuck to them. He goes over to some girls. He leans down next to one, winks at her, and goes, I picked these flowers. Awkward pause. And then he goes, they're prettier than you. And then she's like, and he's like, oh, I mean, there's no flowers as pretty as you. And she's like, okay, this guy's a funny little idiot. And she sniffs the flowers, a bee comes out. Of course there's a bee there. And then Trip is like, I'll get it. And then whacks her right into a fountain. Of course. And then she calls him a loser. Alright. Oh yeah, and then there's one more funny thing that happens. Trip, he's super bummed out by all this. Like, nothing's going right for him. So he starts to walk away. Then the bee follows and chases after him. Boy, that really sucks for Trip. So then, let's see what's going on. The newest mutant, Electro Thief? Oh, Electropede, okay. Let's see. According to Ranger Wiki, his name is Electropede. But in the episode, I'm pretty sure Trip calls him Electro Thief. Was that like just a name he calls the monster, or did Ranger Wiki have it wrong? Whatever, anyway. The monster can, like, suck electricity out of things. Oh, including the Ranger's weapons. Let's see. Trying to look for... Oh, yeah. During the fight with the monster, Trip tries to imitate the Rangers, the moves he saw them doing earlier. It doesn't work. He just gets his butt kicked, falls on his butt, hurts his butt. The Ranger's like, dude, you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm okay. And then, at the clock tower, the Rangers are trying to figure out what's wrong with their weapons, because the monster drained all the energy out of them, and they can't figure it out. So then, the Rangers are going to go patrol different power plants to see if the monster shows up again. Trip is told to stay behind and get some rest, because he hurt his butt. And then, let's see. Oh yeah, while he's stuck behind there, he gets an idea of how to fix the weapons using his gadgets from earlier. So then he packs up all the weapons, he goes to join the other Rangers, and meanwhile, those kids at the park earlier dressed up as Rangers are skateboarding through a power plant. As you do. Like, I guess, I don't know, if I was a kid and I lived somewhere that happened to be near a power plant, I'd probably play there regardless of what my parents said either. Like, my friends did play in dangerous places. I remember being a kid and, like, going up where we weren't supposed to, or going deep in the woods where we weren't supposed to. Whatever. Anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, the monster... I think the monster causes, like, some kind of tower to fall down in front of the kids, and it's, like, electrically charged, lying on a gasoline can, because why wouldn't you leave a gasoline can near an electric power plant? So whatever. They're stuck there, and then meanwhile, let's see, Trip gives his new fixed weapons to Wes. Just Wes. None of the other Rangers get weapons now, but whatever. Wes is able to defeat Electropede. Frax shows up and shoots the patch away from Electropede, making him grow, which, yeah, this was a weird scene, and it made me think, Electropede looks like Oh wait, did I get his name right there? Oh yeah, I spelled his name wrong. You fixed that in my notes here. Okay. So anyway, he defeats Electropede, and then Frax shows up to shoot the little DNA patch off so that he'll grow. And it made me wonder, what if Electropede, like, surrendered to the Rangers? Oh, because it kind of looked like he was about to. Like, I think in the Japanese version he might have, and that was why he didn't just pull it off himself. Whatever, anyway. He grows giant, and, let's see, the Rangers summon the Megazord, we get the typical Megazord battle. The monster reverts to his pre-revived little toy state. Oh, and then, while they're in the Megazord, Trip gets a vision of the kids who are trapped at the power plant. He goes to rescue them, he lifts them up on the glider, just as there's a big dramatic explosion. And then, let's see, Trip is at the clock tower later. The Rangers all call him to the park. Trip, we need you at the park. And he's like, what's going on? And then Katie's all like, yeah, Circuit told us about you trying to be more like us. And he's like, and she's like, but since you say the day-to-day, we've all decided we want to be like you. And then he turns around and all the Rangers pull hats off and they all have green wigs. And then Katie has a green wig. Then the kids from earlier show up and they're all dressed as little Green Rangers. And everyone's gone green. It's awesome. So yeah, this is a fun, dumb little episode. Story is... It's a really cliche, simple story. Like, it's kind of thing that I would totally 100% expect them to do now in Power Rangers. Like, I could definitely see this working... Or, well, not really working. I could see them doing this type of story in Dino Fury. Actually, I think they did do it in Beast Morphers. Oh, and actually, they did do this story, kind of, in Operation Overdrive. I don't remember the name of it. Taizan wanted to be more like Will. So he dresses up as Will and imitates Will. Although it gets kind of annoying in that episode, but it doesn't take up the whole episode, so it's fine. Here, one of the nice things when Trip's trying to imitate the Rangers, it's not because he's trying to impress anyone. It's more for himself. Like, he thinks they're really cool. He thinks what they can do is really cool, and he wants to be cool like them. For himself. And that's one of the things that really makes this episode work so well, even though it is kind of a cliche story and it's kind of dumb. Because Trip is so charming and likable, because he's not doing this for anyone's benefit but his own. He wants to improve himself, and that's why he's doing this. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing. Rest of the episode, it's fine. It's a fine episode. As a kid, I remember liking it because I liked Trip. As an adult, it's fine. Don't know what else to say about it, so I'll end it here. See ya.